When we enter through this belly guard gate, everyone's mind is filled with strange emotions, and those emotions get intensified as we see the battered walls who were the silent witness to the fierce battle which was raged here. Death-like stillness still exists here. This gate was attacked several times on 2nd July, 20th August and on 25th September 1857. Lieutenant Atkin was deputed here and he very bravely defended this position. There was a clock tower just across the road which was destroyed in the bombardment caused by Lieutenant Atkin. There was also a mosque over there which was also destroyed in the bombardment. This long room was a laboratory for making infield cartridges. Before the commencement of the siege, this was the treasury house. But when the siege for the residency started, the whole treasury was shifted to the main residency building inside. This building was the banqueting hall for the British resident at the King of Awadh's court, but after the siege started, it was converted into a hospital. This is Dr. Ferrer's house. There was a large taikhana beneath this house where the European ladies were taking shelter. This place was under command of Captain Weston. It was here in this room that General Henry Lawrence died on 4 July 1857. Later, James Outram fixed his headquarters over here. A plaque was installed over there. German's post. This was Judicial Commissioner's Court prior to the siege. This post was battered mercilessly by the Indian forces and more hand-to-hand fights took place here than in any other post in the Residency. This is Anderson's post. This was also very dangerous post as the enemy throughout the siege were only at a 40 yards distance on the left and 70 to 80 yards on the front. I'll show you. I will show you a historical well. The great historian of Lucknow, Edward Hilton, who was the student of Lamartine School and was present here during the siege, has written in his book that once he was washing his clothes in the courtyard near the well in Lamartine Post. This is the Lamartine Post. Then suddenly a fragment of a shell came whizzing through the air and went straight into the well, in this well, within a yard where he was standing. As I am standing here, he was standing like this here. So it all happened here where I am standing now. It was from here that Captain Fulton started his countermine, which blew up Johanna's house, and Bob the Nailer was killed there. During the siege, the British soldiers were in great need of tobacco. So what they did, they created substitute of tobacco by drying tea leaves, guava leaves and other garden shrubs and smoked them. Such was the situation they faced here. Once in the early days of August 1857, loud English music and firing of cannon was heard. The English thought that the relieving force had arrived, but to their sheer disappointment, the firing and music was in the honor of Birjiz Qadr, who was proclaimed as new king of Awadh. This is Martiniere Post. It was a single-storied house of a banker, Shah Bihari Lal. This post was also the most exposed to attacks, and Indian forces were just 20 feet away from here all through the siege. This building was allotted to Martiniere students for their quarters, and they fought under the command of their principal, George Schilling. Great action took place around this place. This is Grant's Bastion. It was a flat roof building and belonged to a native. Mr. Gubbins took possession of it during the siege. Monsieur Dupret was wounded here and later succumbed to the injuries. This post was defended by Lieutenant Grant, and who died by bursting of a hand grenade in his hand here in this spot. Brigade Mess or King's Hospital. This post was commanded by Colonel Masters. This building was used by the officers as a mess. It was here that Lady Inglis and Lady Cowper lived in the rooms. Major Francis received the death wound here from a round shot while he was sitting in the upper story. Major Brewer was killed here. And apart from all these things, a very interesting incident happened here with Captain Waterman. He slept in a very remote corner of this building, and while everyone left, he woke and to his horror found that everything was silent and deserted, and thousands of Indian forces were outside. He just ran away and stopped until he came up with the rear guard of his people. This is Begum Koti. This building was the residence of Miss Walters and her daughter and only son. Her daughter was married to the King Nasiruddin Haider, and her title was Mukhaddar-e-Aliya. Here there was a canteen and a liquor storeroom, and this place was considered a little bit safer as it was in the middle. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Omani's house. I am standing in his house. This was a two-storied building and was the residence of the Judicial Commissioner, Mr. Omani. Brigadier Inglis established his headquarters here. There was a deep ditch surrounded by cactus over there. General Havelock also lived here. There were few important state prisoners who were kept in prison here in the residency. First was Mustafa Ali Khan, who was the elder brother of Wajid Ali Shah. Then there were two Mughal princes of Delhi, Mirza Haidar Shikoh and Mirza Humayun Shikoh. They were also confined here. Then Nawab Ruknuddaulah, who was one of the sons of Saadat Ali Khan, the former Nawab Wazir of Awadh, was also confined here. Ruknuddaulah died in captivity here and was buried under the large banyan tree which was near the gate of Mr. Rumani's garrison. There he was buried under that banyan tree. This room was occupied by Captain and Miss W.J. Rootliff during the siege of 1857. When the residency was besieged, they were living here in this small room.